Okay. Is the audio available now? Yeah. Audience, is the audio available? Okay, fine. Thank you. Thank you, audience. Yeah. So today, as you can see from our title, that we need to talk about a magazine, a new magazine printed and published from West Bengal. So we did a previous episode on this, and where we had one of the editors join us, but due to technical issues, that program did not go well. So actually, we invited one of the foremost initiatives that took by the Animitra, and he is the primary force behind this magazine. So this is the magazine you can see here. So this is it's a Bengali magazine, but it does have two English articles, very interesting articles that we had read in our previous streams. So today we are going to discuss in detail about the concept of the magazine, why it needed to be brought in, and what he wants to achieve with this magazine. So, on with that.
Good evening.
Yeah, speak now.
Well, thank you very much, Upenda, for bringing me to this show. And well, if you will allow me to say at the very beginning is that our organization, Bengal Volunteers, is actually more than 100 years old. It was actually a revolution organization that had been instituted in 1905 by a great revolutionary. And he was blessed by Swami Vivekananda in his last visit to Dhaka. The Dhaka that has become the hotbed of all the problems now in Bangladesh, the same Dhaka. Swamiji visited at the time, and he went there along with his people and with his band of followers. And they were impressed so much by Swamiji's teachings that led to the formation of the organization called Bengal Volunteers. Bengal Volunteers actually came to more prominence in the 1920s under the leadership of Sir Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. He was the main, he was the captain of Bengal Volunteers at the time. The Bengal Volunteers achieved lots of feats. It became a name synonymous to terror, to the British imperialism, and lots of revolutionary upsurges from the extermination of the British magistrates to curb communal conflagrations. Bengal Volunteers boys at the time did very well to support and save the Hindus in East Bengal. And from that reason, and from that perspective, Bengal Volunteers was a renowned name. It's almost a homely name to each and every Bengali at the time. But by 1947, when the destiny became very unclear, loss of repressions, petition, and other municipal factors led to the decline of Bengal Volunteers. But now, in 2019, it was revived once more as a registered trust. And in this regard, we have been blessed by lots of people who are still with us, but they happen to be the members of the VB of East Areas. So all these kind-hearted people, they are with us and they have blessed us in a very well manner. And with all these things and with all these perspectives in consideration, we are trying to reinvigorate the Bengal Volunteers that had been once upon a time the cerebral corner of the Hindu Bengalis in particular. And in our website, bengalvolunteers.in, we have mentioned it very clearly that we do speak of the Hindu Bengalis and we Dr. Kwam. We are not hesitant to say it like that. We do not care what others think, but we are with our own ideology, and our ideological conviction is based on a military ideology that had been devised by Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose in the 1920s, 30s, and the 40s.
Yeah, thank you, Animitoda. I think there is a glorious 100-year history of Bengal Volunteers. and it's it's something to that people who Bengalis from Bengal, from outside Bengal. It's really heartening to see that an initiative like this magazine. So tell me more about the name of the magazine. The people who are do not read Bengali, so it reads like Amiyabikrama. So could you tell me about the name of the magazine?
Amiyabikrama is the name of the magazine, and it's one of the 108 names of Durga or Kali. Amiyabikrama, that this name has not been invented by us. This name is found in the ancient Hindu scriptures. And from there, we took the name. Since the name and the concept of the magazine is completely, or the attached, I'll say, it's inseparably related.
Yes. So now, could you just tell me about the kind of articles that is we will see? So you also have the magazine with us. Yes, please.
You can see the back of it. It defines the shock of worship of Bengal. And Amiyabikrama is basically a war doctrine. For the last 250 years in the history of Bengal, we have come across several types of magazines, several types of works. We have Tagore, we have lots of other peoples of the literature society and everything. But unfortunately, we have not been able to find a single magazine that relates to the concept of struggle. In the revolutionary days, there are lots of magazines called Jugantar, Vande Mataram, New Horizon, Shondha, at the time, Dark Hawk Kota, something like that. But according to our belief, no nation can develop disregarding science and war. At the same time, Bengal Volunteers is proud to publish a sister magazine also, and it's called Utkoshini. It's the it deals with the scientific revelations, and it's penned by the most prominent scientists in the country in both languages, Bengali and English. So in this way, we do have two doctrines: one the science, and the number two is war. Since I've already said, war is an inevitable part of a nation. War is an inevitable part of a human being. If you cannot struggle, if you cannot achieve, if you cannot rise to the occasion for the sake of justice, if you do not train yourself, you are nothing but a burden to the nation. And unfortunately, what we are seeing at this moment, Hindus, Bengalis in particular, for the last 75 years, have got distracted. They've got distracted from various perspectives of life, from nationalism, from dharma, to the left and liberalism. And the left liberalism, just nemesis, has been so tight in our society that we have not been able to come out of it yet completely. So, to give the Bengalis a jerk, especially, we have brought out all those articles that once glorified Bengal, all those subjects that once glorified Bengal. Bengal is a land that had revolted against the Mughals, the Pathans, in the medieval era. From the Chand Rai, Kedar Rai, Pratham Maharaj Pratapaditya, Sitaram, Rani Baba Shankari, to the 19th century, 20th century, with the British imperialism. There has been a steady history of resistance, armed resistance, which is not being taught these days, which has been completely forgotten, or thanks to the left, it has been brushed aside. So, what we have done, we have tried to bring up all these articles, or lost concepts, to make people realize that Bhakti and Shakti both are complementary to each other. And no society can be only with Bhakti or only with Shakti. So the Bhakti is going on in whatever forms. It's best for the audience to ascertain what types of Bhakti are they having. But as far as Shakti is concerned, Shakti is not only the military of India or the government. The government, the military have their own agendas. But the common people, they must have their own agenda. Take, for example, I'm not saying that I'm quite proud to say, but definitely I should say that our vigor to publish this magazine is proved completely accurate by the ongoing developments in the neighboring Bangladesh. A country or a state within a state or a stateless nation. And the entire anti-Indian programs, which in India, which in Bengali called Bharat Videsh, the anti-Indian programs are nothing but the reflection of the anti-Hindu. And it has engulfed the entire Bangladesh. So when in a country, when you are in a nation and having beside you a nation that might become a new Somalia or Iraq or Syria or lawless Afghanistan. Yes, you are sharing the border, you are sharing the largest border with that country. India shares more than 4,000 kilometers of border with Bangladesh, and the border is larger even than with Pakistan. So, how can you live within this country? You should have to go trained. You should have to be inculcated in the military disciplines. The disciplines that's befitting for the civilians. So with all these things in consideration, we have brought up this magazine of war doctrine, and we must say that we are determined. And each and every year, for the last few years, we have been publishing this Utkoshini of the Science magazine in Bengali and English, the bilingual magazine. But on the very first year, 4 years back, we had published one section of Amiyabikrama that was dedicated mostly to the dacoits of Bengal at the time. But from now, since once we with this magazine and we have brought out this magazine finally, on each and every year, there shall be newer issues, newer subjects of consideration, newer processes, newer issues of contemplation. Since war, martial arts, what you say, the rugged muscles, martial strength, the physical strength, is a separate discipline. And this discipline must be worked out, and this discipline must be inculcated in the psyche so that each and every person can turn into a warrior. Now think of a nation where India has the fourth largest military in the country, and almost each and every citizen of the nation is extremely disciplined, well trained, well mannered, and with a well behavior. How would the country look like then? Just think of it. If you can think it, then we shall say that we shall find that we have at least achieved something.
Yes. So I think you have put it very well. That self-defense is an integral part of any civilization, any society, and for that matter, every constitution of every country gives these common citizens the right to self-defend. So from that constitutional right to defend themselves, okay, it is war is not only so. A lot of people have this misconception that whenever we talk about war, it means some kind of armed struggle. So I think I have gone through the magazine, correct? This magazine doesn't talk about go and take up arms. The magazine talks about the psychology of resistance against intolerance, against injustice, and the ability of the individual to actually defend themselves against any kind of aggression. It can be intellectual aggression, it can be also physical aggression, and that is enshrined in the Constitution of India. So everybody who is reading the magazine, so it talks about teaching the common people who have actually lost that vigor of self-defense, of resistance against injustice, against corruption, against a lot of other things, the vices which our society has now. So, in that context, could you shed a bit more light into the contents of the magazine and any specific article, maybe in English or Bengali, which, or maybe you can read a few para of it to actually give a sense what people who need to buy the magazine, what they will get to know in terms of how the vigor of resistance is being channeled through this.
Well, we can say that there Olushana Shamiti. The Olushana Shamiti is regarded as one of the most prime revolution organizations in the country that was instituted in 1902 by Promoter Mitro, and then expanded by his disciple and a great revolutionary Pulin Bihari Das. And it was then called the Dhaka Onushan Samiti. Then the Onushan Samiti later on got divided into two halves, for West Bengal and East Bengal. But the Dhaka Onushan Samiti of East Bengal became synonymous to terror to the British imperialism. And for the first time in the British reports of 1918, that was published to lots of considerations and deliberations, the report states that Onushan Samiti was termed, the Dhaka Onushan Samiti was termed by the British imperialists as imperium in imperium. That means a state within a state. When nowadays we talk of the past revolution movements, we talk of Syria, we talk of Iraq, we talk of lots of other things, that is a state within a state. That means this state is self-government that doesn't obey the larger governance of the larger state. And that's more dangerous, most dangerous to the sanctity and to the existence of the larger state. The state within a state is the most dangerous object at this moment. Now, 100 years back, Dhaka Onushan Samiti is a huge number of followers, members, with its vigor, ferocity, with its articulation, and with hitting the target or achieving the objective. There are lots of Indian police officers were killed at the time who were with the British police officers, the British administration. No compassion, no mercy was shown to them. And that led to the development of a new concept, a new word called Ogunichu, the era of fire. And at the time, what we are saying at this moment, the same time it has been uttered at the time also. Say, for example, Vashish Samhita, it said, Agnita Ganadas Chaiba Shasta Panidanapaha, Kettadara Pahari Cheshadataina, Gorum Babala Britam, Babrambanan Babaushrutam, Atatayana Mayantang Hanidaba Bicharayan. That means your prime object is to save your own home. Any person who tries to attack their home with sharp weapons or fire, balls, or with even poison, your first and foremost duty is to exterminate. You don't have to see whether it's a guru or a child or a Brahmin or if you are a celebrated person. Since your prime duty is to save the home, that means you are serving the nucleus of the state. You are serving the family. And family is the nucleus of the state. That means you are doing a nationalistic job. Unfortunately, the same thing that we must 100 years back are no more with us. And for that reason, this Onushan Samiti called Imperium and Imperium. It's a brilliant article, but we have studied everything that is part and parcel of the Hindu civilization. That's part of the Sanatana beliefs. What do we have dealt with the concepts of Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha? Not only with the Moksha, Dharma, Artha, Kama. Of Kautilya. If you still read the Arthashastra of Kautilya, you will get amazed by the brilliance. But he was perhaps more than a genius. One of the greatest persons in the history of the Sanatana Dharma is Kautilya. But many years back, almost a millennium back, we had tried to disregard it. And when Kautilya was disregarded, the ancient India plunged the entire Hindu concept, entire philosophy, plunged into darkness. Since with the abolition of identity, with the abolition of fear, no society can exist. And what we are seeing today is nothing but a sunlight. That means what is large fish is devouring the small fish at his own will. There's none to prevent it. Be it the corporations, be it the land shares, be it the politicians and everything. He who has the power can do everything. For him, every wrong is right. So we are giving a break. That imperium and imperium that had been performed, executed, and completed by our predecessors only 2 or 3 generations back. The entire concept is still incomplete. We have to go with it. We have to execute it once more. We have to reestablish it, reinstate it. And for that reason, all these brilliant articles have surfaced in this magazine. Just a minute. There's also another article. The Calcutta Tokyo Axis. It's on English. Calcutta Tokyo Axis, an undaunted raspberry pose. It has been penned by Prothoy Gangopadhyay and Somodip Banerjee, two brilliant authors. And this article deals with the two most efficient and great cities of the history, Tokyo and Calcutta. When that was the Calcutta in 1947, when India was equal position. At the time, Calcutta was one of the most thriving metropolis across India, and also the what are some of the third and person, but also perhaps it can be said that the capital of the revolutionary activities of India, the revolution capital of India. At the time, nationalist Japan was on the rise. Subhash Chandra Bose had come there. He formed the INA, and then lots of linkings and lots of uh, camaraderie between Calcutta and Tokyo that started with the 1910s, with the uh, appearance of Okakura, who had a great relation with Rabindranath Tagore and Swami and Nivedita. He was in burst train to Luxor. He was kept as an instructor with the revolutionaries and they learned to Luxor from him. And from that time, the political relation between Calcutta and Tokyo and India and Japan became very steady. These articles are also in this magazine. You can read it, you can get enriched, and you can see that our predecessors were not spineless, unlike many of us these days.
Yeah, thank you, Anikada. I think you gave two articles, one on Onushan Samiti, which has a rich history, and by I think we know, you also know that the one of the founders of RSS, Guruji, he actually came from Maharashtra to to Bengal to actually train himself on the revolutionary activities. So he came to actually study medicine in West Bengal, in Kolkata specifically. But we know from documents that he was sent, the Guruji was sent to Kolkata to actually train himself on the revolutionary activities and politics of it. So Onuslan Samiti has a rich heritage, and it has influenced over 100 years, where we can see its presence felt in terms of organizations like RSS, who have been inspired. Their founders were inspired. So, and also regarding Rashbihari Bose, I think a lot of people know about it. I think outside in Bengal, people may not know about it, but Rashbihari Bose was one of the foremost revolutionaries who actually did uh, a lot, and he finally ended up in Japan.
In this regard, I can ask the audience if they go to the Google and just go through a simple Wikipedia page called the Hindu-German Conspiracy in 1914, the First World War. They will find what was the true excellence of Raspberry Bose.
Yes, I have shared the page, the Wikipedia page that you mentioned, the Hindu-German conspiracy, so people can check it. And so yeah, so I was talking about the two specific articles that you mentioned. Now, for people who are residing outside Bengal, okay, how they can get this magazine? Okay, people who can read Bengali, that's fine. And there are also two articles in English for people who are non-English speakers, non-Bengali speakers. And add to that, now people outside with Bengal know Bengalis as only professors, artists, musicians. So this lost heritage, lost history of warrior spirit of Bengal that we are trying to reintroduce into the psyche common psyche of the society itself, the Bengali society and also overall Indian society. So in that context, do you have any plans to publish this magazine in Bengali for people who cannot read Bengali?
In English. So translate it into English and then publish it once more. Okay. Well, at the same time, when Bhupendu was saying that Bengal is known for its poetry, for the artistic views, at the same time, I must say that for the last 75 years, Bengal is regarded as the most politically violent state in India. Okay. Well, I'm not taking it as a credit, but certainly, hardly there is any election in Bengal that is without violence. There cannot be any election without violence. That might be a negative trait and might be positive to a few, but definitely these are also the basic features of Bengal. And this is not from 1947 only. And for the last, if I take from the birth of Olusegun in 1902, Bengal has never been serene or very sanctified. There have been lots of troubles, be it the communal riots, be it the genocides, be it the partition, be it the war and everything. Bengal can never sleep. But there is also a point that all these things, all this catastrophe have not been able to develop the common psyche of a Bengali Hindu. Common psyche of Bengali Hindu, according with many parts of India, they are also in the same place. That I do not want to form into trouble. I do not want to be in trouble. So I will make any compromises to get me and my family out of this trouble. But at some times, all these are not possible. Sometimes these also come to an end. What the question to you is right, whether you will fight or not, whether you will struggle or not. If you do not struggle, you do not exist. And unfortunately, I must say, this generation between 18 and 25 doesn't appear to be so vigorous. Might be there are several factors. I'm not saying that to prove that they are vigorous, there's always the necessity of armed gangs in the streets, the struggles in the streets, but definitely the vigor in India is on the wane. So we shall have to bring it once more. We shall have to introduce several types of sports that were once a part of the Indian psyche, the Lathi Khela, the sports, the Olat Chakra. Olat Chakra is a very special kind of discipline where fireball is attached to two sides of a single stick and you have to do like this. And it may amaze many people to know, but it's a reality that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a brilliant player of this Olat Chakra. Swami Vivekananda, he used to be a member of the Akhada, of the Kustis. The revolutionary organizations had instituted Akhadas in almost every part of Bengal, and that happened to be the nucleus of a society. We are trying to bring back tradition once more with vigor, with discipline, regimentation, and excellence of moral character. And so we have brought this Amiyabikrama. You can see this picture of Kali. And you can see this other concept of fierceness of Kali. We do not subscribe to the concepts of, I will say, what can I say? I must be used this word very cautiously. We do not subscribe to any concept of escapism or defeatism. That's better for me, I think. We are neither escapist nor defeatist. Our predecessors had fought for the sake of justice, and we are going with the same. No one can dominate us, none can exterminate us, and we shall not be under any subjugation to anybody. We are completely well defined with the utmost pride in the dharma, and the dharma, which is a kartavya, as a duty, the noble duty, the moral duty, to speak for the unarmed, to speak for the sake of justice, to speak for injustices, tortures of the innocent. We were with the same line. And Bengal volunteers from its very years in the revolutionary days have been with this. So we are also with going on with the same ideas. And each and every article in the magazine to speak of this simple mindset.
Thank you, Animitra. I think you gave a reason for people who are living in Bengal and people outside Bengal to actually give hope to people who have been feeling low in terms of the kinds of news which is coming out from Bengal for last 30, 40 years. Okay. The loss of industry, the loss of self-confidence, the loss of political power as such that we have seen over 30, 40 years with the left-front governments and other governments come in, but we haven't seen the kind of improvements that overall the India has gone through. The tremendous economic growth, the tremendous political power that India as a nation commands today, post 1991 liberalization, and we have seen Gujarat, Maharashtra, and southern states have become political and economic powers within the Indian Union itself. But we have seen West Bengal lag behind in all these aspects for several decades. So we will hope that I think with your this initiative, this magazine that is there, so this will create a new generation of people who would fight, who would know what it means to be with dharma, and dharma means that you protect yourself, you protect your society, and you protect your future generations. So on that, we will end this discussion, but we will take some questions. We also will taking some audience questions and comments that has come, and they're very important. I think they are very good questions have come up. So I'll go by one. First question I will take is, this is very important from the magazine perspective. So the first question we have is, this is from one of our members. So our channel is now recently got monetized. So now we are offering memberships to the audience. For memberships, we will have some additional programming which will be coming up in coming weeks. So those access will be given to only the memberships who take the memberships. Membership starts with 199 rupees and it goes to 599. So depending on your financial viability, you can take, and you will get some additional benefits, additional programming, some exclusive live streams, interviews that we will do. Those access will be given to the memberships. So one of the members has asked a question. Can't we make the digital magazine, this magazine, available with membership? He means like, okay, can't we have a digital copy of the in your website, Bengal Volunteers website, where people can purchase this and read it?
Well, do have two websites. One is bengalvolunteers.in. That's an organizational website, it's official website. And our spokesperson, our organ, is called Kanjik. Kanjik means the fire. So it's called kanjik.net. We are planning to upload the PDFs there also. And what we have said that on the basis of subscription is a very good idea, very good proposal from you. Thank you very much. We will definitely take this into consideration and get back to my team. And once everything is done, we should announce it when it can be started, when it's going to start.
Yeah, I think it's a. I think we also, when we did the first program, we also got queries from people outside India who wanted to actually read the magazine, but unfortunately, due to logistical reasons, you cannot send the magazine outside India. In India, still it is possible. Could you just give the audience, like within India, is there any phone number or any email address where they can send a query to actually get the magazine?
Well, as far as now, you can certainly use the email ID called editor.kanjik@gmail.com, and there's also a phone number that's also WhatsApp. It's the number of mine, the General Secretary of Bengal Volunteers. It's the number is 6289 619237. If you are interested to purchase a copy, please let us know. And through the later developments, we'll send you the copy very, very soon.
Yes, so what we will do is we are going to pin all the details which Animitra has given in the program's chat itself, in the comment section. So right now we are unable to put that details here, but what we're going to do is we are going to put all the details where to contact each email address and mobile number. So people within India can get the physical copy by reaching out to that specific number and email address that we will put in the pinned comment section once the stream is over. So you can go ahead and get it. And one more thing that we are trying to do is that we are trying to actually list this magazine in our YouTube store. So as Naviva's channel is now has the option to actually put specific products on the YouTube store. So we are trying to put that YouTube store and put the magazine there. So you will be able to actually purchase the magazine from the Navavimer's store itself. So I am going to work with the Bengal volunteers on the logistics part, how to make it happen so that the magazine will be available in future on the YouTube store of Navavimers, and also it will be available in the Bengal Volunteers website itself. So you are free to actually, wherever you feel comfortable, you can go ahead. We will keep you updated on this when the store is we are working on the store. The store will go live in next 1 or 2 weeks. So we'll keep you updated on that. So hopefully that actually will be helpful for people who may not know Bengal Volunteers intrinsically because they live outside Bengal. So you have all the options available. We have one more question. So interesting question which is asked. Yeah, one more question we have from Retrowave. What do you reckon is the reason behind political violence in Bengal? Is it tribalism? Is it pure hatred of other group, or it's because Bengalis are unable to protect or fight back?
Thank you very much for this question. Well, there are several factors to this. Unlike the other parts of India, because they have been silent, what I have said just a few minutes back, the partition of Bengal had created the revolt. Two provinces in the entire country got partitioned, the Bengal and Punjab. But what followed next is extremely different. The way Punjab was compensated by the central government, Bengal has never been dealt with Bengal. The way Punjab was dealt with by the central government, it didn't happen with Bengal. And for all these factors. And there has been several impositions of central laws like that Equalization Treaty in the 1950s. You may know that 1961 and 62, Calcutta had been the financial capital of India, and after that it started to decline. Why did it decline? There are several factors, not only the leftist movements and other things. There are several factors by the government of India at the Delhi even, to be very precise and very specific, by the Congress. And even in 1970, PM Birla had made a press conference where stated very clearly that the economic decline of devastated Bengal is a creation of the central government. And till this date, not only Bengal but Eastern India suffers. If you go through the minerals and the natural resources of these states, you can find that these can be the greater powerhouses of finance or politics than other parts of India. But unfortunately, the government of India, the central government, has not been able, have not followed a very clear policy in all the states. So for all these factors, the lack of developments, lack of employment issues, a simmering undercurrent of communal clashes. There's also an example in East Pakistan where from the Hindu refugees they were ceased to come to this part of the land. And where from those illegal infiltrations of the Bangladeshi Muslims are also very a huge subject of concern, not only us, but the Indian nation. As far as the Rohingyas are concerned, now all these factors have always made Bengal very unsteady and politically violent. It can certainly be said that the way you do politics in other parts of India is possible to take place in Bengal also. In Bengal, Bengalis in the Bengali society, there is a need of a person who has the guts, who has the power to rule. And for all these reasons, when the lefts were in the position 5 to 60, they struggled lots. There have been wide spread political riots. They came to the power. They were thrown out by Tribal Congress from 2007. There was another episode of bloodbath and everything. And now, when the Tribal Congress is in power for the last 14 to 15 years, there have been no considerable developments in the sake of violence also. So, in a word, Bengal is incomplete with its violence. I'm not endorsing the violent behavior, but what's a reality is a reality. We cannot avoid a brutal reality. So, for all these reasons, and I do not think that if there is a acute industrialization and tremendous growth of economics, Bengal will come out of the cycle. Since on the other side of the border, you have an emerging Syria or Afghanistan or Somalia. So how can this part of the border, sharing 4,000 kilometers of international border with the country, be remain silent?
Yeah, I thank you. I think we have one more very. I think there are two questions, so which I will couple together. One question is, how did Bengali society lose their sense of Swayambodh and Shatrubodh? And I'll add one more question, which is actually a continuation of this. How can we empower the 3 crore Bangladeshi Hindus? They have forgotten their rich military history of Bengali kings. Nobody remembers Maharaja Shashank, Maharaja Pratapaditta, Veer Hambi. So two parts of the question. One is how the Bengali society, I think in 1920s, we have seen from Rishi Aurobindo to Raj Bihari Bose to revolutionaries from Bengal and Maharashtra and Punjab who were forefront of fighting a physical struggle against the British Empire. And from that, we have come to this stage in 1447 onwards, where Bengali society lost the Shatrubodh and Swayambodh, who they are. And as we have seen this happen, we have seen the Bengali Hindus of Bangladesh from 1947 onwards, they have been ongoing persecution going on since 47 onward. It has been going on before 47, but technically, if you say when East Pakistan came into existence in 1947, we have seen a 5 decade of persecution of Bangladeshi Hindus taking place, continuous be happening, and how they have lost their sense of identity as a Hindus and their heritage of warrior kings, which East Bengal and West Bengal had.
Well, thank you very much. Well, for the first question is that in the larger context, what has happened with Bengal is a problem of the Hindu psyche. Nowhere in the globe where Hindus have been persecuted, they have confronted resistance, be it Kashmir or Assam or Bengal. So it can be said that or it should be said that partition of India had been the most detrimental for the Hindu Bengals in particular. Now, in the last 2 weeks, personally I did complete a list of the genocides against the Hindu Bengalis in the last 75 years. In East Pakistan, there has been no less than 192 genocides. In India, the Northeast India, Assam, and Bengal is almost 10. That means 202. No nation in the post-World Second World scenario has encountered such a large number of genocides. Yet, the larger Hindu society remains silent. The problem is that when you were saying that Raja Shashank, Raja Pratapaditta, these are separate chapters. There has never been any endeavor to link these chapters and to bring out a larger picture. Your Shashank, Pratapaditta, before that Dhanujamardan Ganesh, Raja Sitaram, Chandra Kedara, the Barabhuyas, the Rani Baba Shankar, and lots of others. There have been no such. There have been the contributions of the historians like Jodhpur Sarkar, Ramesh Chandra Majumdar, and several others. But no institution have come out to club all these things together and bring out literature that speaks for resistance, that invigorates you, that you have the basic right to go for the resistance. Like there had been resistance of the Poles and the French against the Nazis in the 1943-44, before the day of Normandy. So this hasn't happened. And now, as far as the 3 crores of Hindus are concerned, they've been persecuted to such a not only physical persecution, their lands have been taken up from them. This is a Romna Kalibari. 33 acres of land belong to Romna Kalibari. After it was destructed, and with a 120-feet temple's pillar was destroyed by the Pakistanis as a part of jihad in 1971, the rest was brushed aside by Mujib ministry. And what did happen next? Only 2.3 to 2.3 decimal proper land was given to Ramna Kalibari, and the rest was given to Soravardi Uddan, the Soravardi port. That Soravardi, who was nothing but a butcher of the Hindus in 1946. So in this way, the Hindus there have lost the, I'm not saying the word ambition, they've lost the will even to go for any confrontation. Now this year, regarding Chinmay Das Prabhu's speech, and there have been lots of developments, and it has amazed many, including me. So I can find that something is not dead in East Bengal till now. But definitely, it's also a true fact that when the persecutions have happened in the last 75 years, the government of India, Jawaharlal Nehru said on 15th August 1947 in the National Central Hall that we will not forget our brothers and sisters who have fallen on the other side of the border due to this petition. If India's brothers and sisters are there after the petition, it's nothing but the Hindus. Since a large chunk of the Muslims, through this two-nation theory, try to detach themselves from the Indian subcontinent, its culture, and they went for some other way. So if there are brothers and sisters of India after partition or at that part of the border, these are Hindus. But this India has forgotten the brothers and sisters for almost 75 years, except 1971, when more than 1 crore of Hindus took shelter in India as refugees. But after that, lots of things have happened. In Bangladesh, 2 presidents were murdered by the military coups, and lots of genocide, lots of disasters. But India has not spoken even for a minute. And the second condition persists till now. The way the Bangladeshis are, they're making aggressive stances, be in the media or in the international borders, India remains silent. There is a need of a greater power. There's a need of a greater aggression to develop the lot of the Bangladeshi Hindus. And certainly, of the rest of India also. Because we do not know that we are just sitting ahead a huge lap of gunpowder that can get a place at any time, at any moment. As we the Hindus have been reluctant to do something for the betterment of society, to serve the family, we depend on the government, we depend on the political parties, and this political parties, you do use us as pawns. So it's a time for us to think of ourselves, to think of the future lying ahead, to think of the posterity. We do not want to be with a generation of our children who will consider their fathers as betrayers. We are not betrayers. We shall have to find a way. And all these things, the summation of the answers of your questions is that be strong, be definite, and the whole world will be at your feet. Struggle is the father of all things. That's all.
Yes, struggle is the way of life. Okay, we struggle, and struggle is the way we achieve something. So nowadays, we want things to come to us without any struggle. And that is the psyche that we need to break. We need to break that psyche that if you want to achieve something, there will be difficulties, there will be struggles, there will be pain. So pain is the opposite side of pleasure. If you're going to only seek pleasure, that pleasure will not be as sweet or as enjoyed if you achieve it through pain. So the society, so this magazine is going to give the generation who have not seen what our glorious history is and how do we reinvigorate the sense of resistance, the sense of Swayambodh, the sense of Shatrubodh, that the society, Bengali Hindus, and overall the Hindus across India and outside would feel proud of what we have achieved, what we have done in 1920s onwards and beyond. And it will create, hopefully, it will create a generation, a new awakening among the Hindus to fight, to struggle, to achieve their self confidence. And with that, we will end today's program. So thank you, Animitra, for coming here, and thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for actually publishing this magazine because without your efforts, this would not have been possible. We
Well, it's a collective effort of mine personally, but certainly lots of people have been there. It has been under the guidance of the Bengal Volunteers, as to doubt to it, but it's the collective effort of lots of people, collective, the brainstorming of lots of people. And yes, certainly, I was the person, as the first person to ask others to do something in this line, and it was accepted widely. They all came with me, and they all joined together. And for that reason, this article, this magazine came out as a reality. And we are confident to go with this line in the coming years, come what may. We are not going to compromise even on a single aspect, and we shall be upright in each and every capacity.
Yeah. So I think we have about to cross an hour, and I'll give you one information that how to get the magazine. Okay, the contact details will be pinned shortly once the stream is over and when we process it. And also, we'll try to like work with the Bengal volunteers to make it available in the digital format. In case some technical things are required, we'll collaborate. But we'll try to make sure that as many people can get hold of this magazine. And also, we will also request Bengal volunteers to actually publish an English version of it so that the people outside West Bengal who cannot read Bengali can also learn and understand about the warrior spirit of Bengal. So on that note, we will end today's stream. So thank you everyone for your questions, for your comments, and for tuning to us. Your time is very valuable. So you've given your precious time to us, to listen to us, to watch us, to ask questions. And we will again meet tomorrow. Tomorrow we have a special stream at 6 p.m. It will be scheduled shortly. So tomorrow we have a subscriber meetup, an in-person and online meetup. So we have crossed 500 subscribers previous month. To celebrate our 500 subscriber achievement, we will be having a subscriber meetup in person and also online. And there we will have some giveaways to the our members and also to us, our subscribers. So do tune in to us, and we'll see you tomorrow. And till then, thank you. Jai Shri Ram, Vande Mataram.